Welcome again, Cancer. It's September 2014. Dadhichi here, looking at your horoscope for the month. If you looked at the introduction to September, I was talking generally about how Pluto, the planet of intense transformation, is affecting us as a race. But of course, individually, it affects us in different ways. And for you right now, well, not just now, but in particular this month, there's a very intense development in your relationship sector. Pluto is the planet that tears things apart to rebuild. It's like the proverbial bushfire, burning everything down so that new growth can take place. And really, around the 23rd, when this planet goes into its stationary movement, we see something very important happening in your relationships. This can be a deep understanding, a reflection of something you and your partner have been working through at this time. If you're not in a relationship, it doesn't mean this is not going to affect you in other ways. For example, your perception of people, your perception of the world at large can be dramatically affected by this. And it's interesting that just before that, there's a new moon on the 24th, and of course the moon is your ruler. Libra for you has a lot to do with your inner self, your domestic situation, family life, and peace of mind. Having the full moon there is very, very nice, I must say. This can actually affect you in a positive way. So you mustn't be scared about what I'm saying here. You must really welcome these radical shifts in awareness with love, with anticipation that, you know, these breakthroughs are going to improve your life, improve your relationships, and give you a deeper understanding of things generally. I seem to be working in reverse with your reading this month. That's okay. I mean, as long as you've committed to memory the dates. Actually, on the 2nd, we see Mercury moving into this domestic area. That is going to give you a lot of communication with family, with relatives, planning for your home and the domestic sphere. There could be some fun engagements that are going to take place. On the 6th, Venus moves into the 3rd sector, which is communications, pleasant communications and journeys. You've got the sun there at the moment as well. And as I said, that's going to stay there till around the 23rd, when that too moves into your 4th zone of domestic affairs. But most of these transits look pretty good, but all juxtaposed against that very intense stationary Pluto on the 23rd. And what can appear to be very pleasant and inviting on one level can actually be very frightening on another, if that makes any sense. So again, it depends on your perception of things. As a great man once said, the good is not necessarily pleasant. So you must, again, I'm going to reiterate this, you must welcome the changes that are happening in your life. Sometimes these changes are permanent. In terms of relationships, we know for a fact, it's a statistical fact, that, you know, at least half of the marriages that are out there are not going to survive. And I often ask myself that question after doing thousands and thousands of readings. You know, the ones that do stay together, what percentage of those are really happy? I'm starting to paint a very glum picture. It's it's not very, very encouraging, but again, those changes take place for a reason, for our personal growth, and I want you to embrace that and to look at all of these changes. Not that I'm saying you will break up with your partner, but that even some of the changes that take place within the context of staying together are not always pleasant. But if you look at them as ways and means for you to progress and to develop, then it can be fun, it can be exciting to look forward to these changes. Last month I talked to you about that very devitalizing Mars and Saturn conjunction there in your 5th house of love and romance. Mars is moving out on the 14th into the 6th house of work. That's an excellent placement for you. It gives you great courage and competitiveness and the ability to win over your competitors. So that's something in terms of your specific work-related activities that does well with Mars in the 6th house. You can spank the backsides of those people that are trying to take your job, and I'm behind you on that one. So the 30th is the final aspect that I want to talk about. Again, Venus is moving very, very quickly. In this one reading, we've seen it move through Virgo and then now into Libra, right on the last day of the month. So that's actually going to affect you more in the month of October. But it's nice to know that, again, this domestic sphere, that inner sense of peace, and I guess that old saying, home is where the heart is beautifully affected by the position of Venus there. And a nice note to end the month on for you, Cancer. I do look forward to your company here again next month, as with every month. And don't forget to read a little bit more about yourself at the website astrology.com.au, where you get a lot more detail. Take care. See you again here next month. Bye-bye.